Welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing, an inside look at the many facets of work that is happening at the Department of Children and Families, between our staff, the families we serve, and our community partners. My name is Jacqueline Ford. I have had the honor of working for the department for almost 30 years. And although I may be familiar with many of the topics we bring to you, I have invited experts in those fields to help us dispel the myths and misconceptions that can often be barriers to our work. Join us as we open our doors and invite you to have a seat at our table. Madeline and Monica, thank you both so much for being on Doors to Hope and Healing. Today is a really important show for us because we're going to be working together to tell our viewers about a special young man who is in need of a forever home, a place that he can stay and continue to grow and flourish in a loving family. So we're going to talk a little bit about Brady today and introduce Brady to our viewers. But before we get started, Monica, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, how long have you been at DCF and what your role is there?
So my name is Monica Sanchez. I'm a new to DCF. I've been working for DCF for about a year. Prior to that, I was working for IFCS, which is contracted through DCF. So I've always had a little bit of knowledge about DCF and what they do.
Yeah, that was a good insight to where you now work.
For sure, because I was seeing families, I was seeing them twice a month, helping them with their resources, their needs, their strengths. So we're getting case plans and all that.
Well, that's great. Well, Brady's lucky to have you. And Madeline, what is your role and where do you work?
I work for Capital Region Education Councils, which is CREC. I run 2 of their group homes, one in Bloomfield and one in Southington, where Brady resides. And I've been doing that for 23 years now.
Wow. So you have a lot of experience with kids like Brady.
Correct.
So let's talk about Brady. So I know that you rather new to getting to know Brady, and you've known him for how many years?
2 years.
2 years.
He's been one of our residents.
So talk about Brady. Who is Brady?
Well, Brady is a bright, funny, loving, caring, very charismatic. He loves doing arts and craft with staff, and he loves getting to know people. He is sensitive at times. And he just, loved visits, loved going out to eat, loved doing, arts and craft with people.
What's Brady's permanency plan? What is our hope from an agency's perspective that will...
So our last permanency plan got approved on October, which was a transfer of guardianship with a concurrent plan of subsidy. So right now he actually got accepted in January for FFTFC, which is functional family therapy, foster care. And that's through the village. So the village is doing a recruitment, and they, every month they present to different families.
They present 2 different families to us that they think would be good for Brady?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So in doing the permanency plan, we are up for another one. It hasn't gotten approved yet, but we are hoping that Brady finds his forever home that he always speaks about, which is he would like a mother and a father figure. And he's really looking forward to that stability, the attachment, that love that every kid deserves.
So permanency plan is adoption. That's what you would say?
That, yes,
okay,
for sure.
So tell us about what Brady likes to do. Does he have hobbies? Does he have things that he, just kind of, brights? He just kind of glows when he talks about that.
Yes, he loved making clocks. He likes cars, any Pixar movies, Toy Stories. He likes, what's Precious? He built a little cat named Precious.
Oh, how did he build the cat?
He drew it and cut it out and put it like a little stand behind it, so he keeps it in his room.
He's creative.
Very creative. And he just loved making clocks. Clocks is one of his main things.
Every single time I visit him, he has someone, a new clock that someone has made him throughout his visits. And he tells you about them.
Where did that come from? Where did the clock?
That's what we're talking about.
He came like that. He came to our group home like that. He was always fascinated with clocks. And then I had one, when he first came into our residence, that I had a clock in his room. He literally took it apart within 5 minutes. And I'm like, but Yeah.
Was he able to put it back together again?
No, he was not.
No. Oh, he likes to take them apart.
That's actually how, when I first met him, when we're transition DCF workers, I drew him a clock because I knew he liked it. So I was like, let me come in. My name is Monica.
Yeah,
and he loved that.
That's great. So what grade is Brady in school?
I'm not sure what grade he in. He is going to go into high school next year, which is the River Street School in Windsor.
Okay.
Right now he attends Birkenhead in Bloomfield.
So it's a middle school level education right now, and then next year he'll be starting high school, or in September, or the following year?
So they're transitioning that because Brady has a hard time transitioning. Our last PPT meeting was just a couple weeks ago. They're transitioning him very slowly. So they're going to start talking to him in September about like visiting the new school and like getting him comfortable with it. But right now he does extended daycare day program, which means that he does summer school, he does 8 to 4, and then he also does all the holidays breaks. So essentially he's in school majority of the year. And then if we do find a home, we would also do ABA services with Brady in the home.
So he's in a structured program,
Yes.
even when there's school is
right.
in,
Even at crack group home and crack school, he's always in a structured environment. Yeah.
How would you describe Brady's personality?
He's quirky. He's funny. I think he likes being like loved and like attachment. He likes being hugged. Creative.
Yes.
Very creative.
So he's comfortable with affection and
He is. Yes. He wants that.
Is he cautious with adults, or is he comfortable meeting new people?
I mean, when I went to meet him, he was very comfortable, even though he didn't know me initially. He was comfortable. He didn't like seem to be scared or anything. And then I also introduced his old foster parent a couple months ago, and he remembered her, and that was like 2 years ago, and he like loved seeing her.
Aww.
Yeah, so he has a very good memory.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I know. I had the honor of meeting him one day with you, and he was very personable, and he did show me his clock right away. So I can attest that he definitely has an interest in, he could be a future engineer, right? Building and putting things back together again. What are Brady's strengths? What would you say his strengths are?
Brady, he's a quick learner. The only thing is that you have to build the structure right when you meet him, because he tends to, I don't know how to say it, like
fixate on something?
Fixate on something.
Yeah.
And that's why he does good with transition as far as preparing him for the transitions. And let me see, he loves going to school, and he loves doing chores around the house.
And I think overall he like communicates when something's bothering him.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's definitely a strength to let someone know what's on your mind or in your heart. So he does okay with transition as long as there's a transition plan.
Correct.
I think that's what I'm hearing you say.
And like the routine of it.
Over and over again until
the
he becomes
consistency.
acclimated with that consistency. And I think that's good for our viewers to hear if they're considering wanting to know more about Brady. How old is Brady? I don't think that we even started with that. How old is Brady?
So his birthday's actually coming up.
Oh, it is?
He's 13, yes. He'll turn 14 July 30th.
Okay,
Yes.
so he'll be 14 years old.
Yes, yeah.
And he's obviously a boy. And what is his culture? How does he identify?
White Caucasian.
Okay. So does he have any special needs? And I'm hearing that he does have some special needs, but what do you think is important for any adult who's thinking of stepping forward to providing a resource for Brady? What do you think is important for them to know about his special needs?
So he is diagnosed with autism. And when I say that, while he is limited, he takes very good direction from the staff. So he does do like very well with like the one step, like prompting, or like, Brady, go pack your lunch, or go shower. Or one time I was over there and he was eating, he wasn't using his utensils. So the staff, like prompted on using his utensils, and he used them immediately. After he was done, he like threw out all his garbage. So he does well with like one step, I think. I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything.
Yeah. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that about his special needs?
he does require supervision out in the community because, he's very friendly and he'll talk to anybody, and that could, cause an issue,
Sure.
with predators and stuff. But other than that, he does listen to staff. He loves going out in the communities, loves going out to eat. That's his favorite thing. And I think that's about it.
Yeah. And those are all, important for our families to know that are considering, that you definitely want our families coming forward to have stability and love to give and be in a place of accepting a child in the home, but they also need to know that they can, meet the needs that he may have.
Right.
What services do you feel are going to be necessary moving forward with the permanency plan of living in a home environment? What kind of services do you think are important, just to maybe even just, it might not be definite, but that you could see in his future of him needing?
So I think he'd still have like extended day again. So that would be from 8 to 4. And I know we were talking about like ABA services in the home as well.
Can you explain what ABA is?
So it's a therapy, and they it's a service that goes in the home for children with autism, and they work on the life skills that they may need to transition into adulthood and out in the community.
Okay.
So we'd also want ABA in the home that would support the foster parent or adopted parents. And then we also just started therapy with him as well. And he did really good with therapy. He had his first intake, I believe, June 1st. So he was able to talk a little bit about his grief. So that will also be therapy, ABA, and then the extended school.
Which are a lot of supports for the family as well.
For sure.
And then what about after hours, in the evenings and on the weekends?
So ABA is after hours. So once he comes home from school, the in-home provider, the ABA provider, would come in after that and work with him. So it would really just be like going, feeding him, showering, and going to bed.
Okay.
Until the next day. The weekends, that's where it depends if Brady still wants his family to visit, but it depends on the permanency plan and what the adopted parents want initially.
Okay. Yeah, and that's, in those off hours when ABA and the extended day isn't in place, it's really when he's becoming bonded and acclimated with the family that is taking him in.
Right.
Have there been any families identified for Brady in the past? I know that we've been actively looking for a home for him because our goal is always to make a good match. It's not to say that there aren't families out there who may be willing to take care of him. It's just that we want to make sure that a family is a good match for him, because they may be a wonderful family but may not be able to support his needs.
Right. So when the case transitioned, I reached out to his family members, the aunt, the uncle, the sister who she's with, which is the aunt and uncle, the grandparents, old foster parents. And at this time, they weren't able to do placement resources.
Okay.
That being said, though, dad still visits every week. And then the sister visits for major holidays. So he still does have those supports.
So it's important for any family that's watching or any adult that's watching who's going to consider Brady to know that he will have that connection to a birth dad and then some extended family members.
Right.
Are there any foster families that are still in his life?
Yeah, so Margie is also involved in his life. She visits once a month, and she has so much love for Brady. But unfortunately, because of her circumstances, she's not able to be a placement resource either. But she will still remain in his life as well, hopefully.
So it's I think good to say that he has a lot of love in his life and a lot of people that care for him and care about him, but can't care for him physically in their home.
Right.
Okay. And then that's also important to know. So if we were to, I want to really talk about who you both see as being that, perfect family for him. And I don't mean a perfect family because there is no such thing as a perfect family, but who, you've had an investment in Brady for, since you've gotten his case, you've been with him for 2 years, and 2 years of a 13-year-old's life is a very long time. Who would you see as being a family that you would love for him to have?
Definitely a mom and a dad, because that's what, he's always talked about, his forever family being a mom and a dad. Possibly a cat, because he draws a cat. Just a stable environment, someone who's, able to care for him and love him and, and and be there for him. You know, he is independent, so he's able to, you know, take a shower. He's able to prepare meals in microwave. So, but it's just that, you know, that loving family that he really wants.
And why do you think it's important? And I know this is a hard question, but why do you think it's important for Brady to have a family? I know that there should be a family for everybody, and we all have a family, whether that family is our birth, our, you know, adopted, our friends, you know, we all have family. Why do you feel it's so important for Brady at this age of 13, not even 14 yet, to have a family to live with?
So I feel like I feel like it goes back to permanency and achieving permanency for a child. Having that like security, like a child having that security through the good and the bad days, and not still having that support at the end of the day, and feeling like they have a family to connect with. Whether again it could be any type of family, like mom, dad, whatever it may be. Having that security, attachment, routine, love, unconditional love, because I feel like statistics do show that when a child has that connectiveness, they are more successful with like positive outcomes in their life. They're able to have like an identity. So I think it's important to achieve this for Brady.
Yeah, I do too, and I hope that we can find him a home. How does Brady feel about finding a family? Is he in tune to the fact that, not that you're on the show with us today, because we don't ever want a child to feel a level of rejection if maybe one of our viewers today isn't able to step forward, but maybe in a couple of weeks we may find someone who watches our show who says, you know, wow, I really want to learn more about Brady. And we're going to have pictures of Brady for our viewers that are watching. We're going to have pictures of Brady and a video to show you of him as well. But, you know, what does he know about this whole process?
Well,
he always talks about it.
he always talks about a forever home in the beginning. And then now it's like he says, Benny Drive is my forever home. It's my forever home. And I'm like, no, eventually you're going to have to graduate out of here and go to, you know, your adult placement. But he does fantasize about having a home, you know. So, I mean, it's just a matter of finding that right match for him.
Right. And I can imagine that transition is going to be very delicate, a very delicate dance, because he's been with you for 2 years, and that consistency and that love and everything he is receiving from you. And you know, on behalf of DCF, I'm grateful for you and your commitment to him and to the program that you work at, because it's not always easy. And, you know, and staff is turning over, and some come and go home, and he's still there. And I think that's what, you know, I'm hearing from both of you in that theme of why is family so important. It's so that people aren't leaving their shift and going home. It's that consistent commitment that we hope that he'll find in a loving family. I agree. Is there anything else about Brady that, you know, you think is important for our viewers to know about him?
I'm not sure. He is just a lovable, like, creative boy who's like just ready to find a family again. And like, I think the routine of it all and having the boundaries and routine, he's very capable of a lot of things in the future.
So if one of our viewers is watching and they want to know more, you know, we've piqued their interest, they definitely want to know more about Brady. Can you share what your email address is?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
you can share it verbally, and we'll also have it on the screen.
So my email is Monica, MONICA .Sanchez, SANCHEZ @CT.gov. Should I share my number too?
Yeah, sure, you can.
And then you guys could always give me a call too at 860-937-8479.
And I know that the Kid Hero line is also, you know, our central hub for making that call to inquire about one of our kids and getting started with the open house to learn, you know, what does it mean to be a foster or adoptive parent, and how can I get started? And that number is 1-888 Kid Hero, and the people are trained professionals on that line, and they can talk to you about the whole process. Now, would you consider someone who's coming forward as a long-term foster care resource, or are you only interested in families that will adopt for that permanency of adoption?
So I think it always starts like at foster care, and then like that attachment begins, and we could always go into adoption.
Okay.
So we're really looking for anyone that is like willing and ready to have Brady with them.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, thank you both for being
Thank you.
on the show today and talking about Brady. He's lucky to have both of you in his life, and I'm grateful for this platform of Doors to Hope and Healing to share about our kids who need that forever home. And despite all of the efforts that you're doing on a daily basis in trying to find him that perfect match, sometimes we just don't reach someone who may be that perfect match. So this is just another way for us to do that. So thank you all for watching Doors to Hope and Healing. Stay tuned, and we're going to show you a video of Brady and some photographs of him so you can get to know him better. If you're interested in being a foster or adoptive family, you can call 1-888-KID-HERO to learn about open houses in your area and learn more about becoming a part of that program. And you can also call or email Monica, who is assigned to Brady's case, and she can answer any of the questions that you may have. Thank you for watching.
Tell me about the octopus. Do you have a name for the octopus?
Angry and happy.
Angry and happy. And which one are you?
Happy.
Yes, you are.
What's that for food?
Do you want to go see the TV in the other room?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, do you like it?
Yeah.
Wait, where are you going? Where's it? Oh, there it is.
Mommy.
Did you find it?
Hi.
Brady, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
It's full of candy.
It is full of candy.
I need chocolate.
Chocolate. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
The water's warm at Jaws Pond, and we're stocked full of treasures. Big or small, we buy it all. We buy and sell fast rides, power tools, vintage guitars, and so much more. Walk the plank in style with our fine jewelry, diamonds, and watches. Plus, we have a huge selection of the latest video games, including the new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Jaws Pond, conveniently located on Meriden-Waterbury Turnpike in Southington and West Main Street in New Britain.
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.